It's hard to believe that it's been a year since the American banks collapsed and the global economy went into a tailspin. I think it's really important, though, that people start to look at what was the last year like? How challenging was it for you as a salesperson? How challenging was it for you personally? And while I think many people have had their challenges in the last year, there's lots of people that have come through this year, and while it hasn't been an easy year, are prepared and ready for next year. I had a chance to do a session in Eastern Ontario this past weekend with 15 salespeople, and two things happened in that session. One is we came out of the session with a real sense that they were ready to move forward into 2010 and have a successful year. And secondly is we laughed and had more fun during that day than I have in a session in a long time. We laughed, we carried on, but we came out of that session with a real plan and knowing what needed to happen coming into 2010. So here's my challenge to all of you is sit back over the next couple of months and start to look at how am I positioned as a sales rep? How am I positioned as an organization coming into 2010? Do I know what my customers want, and do I know what they value in doing business with me? And as I'm looking at that, how are we positioned to handle what that customer wants and deliver on that product or that service? Secondly is, how are we compared to the competition, and how have we weathered this storm as a business, and are we well prepared to move forward? And if you are, get busy and get ready for 2010. If you're not, what do you need to do in the next 90 days to be well prepared coming into January? My personal experience will tell you that after the 87 recession and after the 92 recession, I had two of the best sales years I had in my whole career after each one of those recessions. And many companies I've talked to this year that have been around for more than 20 years have made the same comment, that after those recessions, their corporate business was some of the best business they'd ever experienced. So over the next 90 days, where's your planning? How do you know where you're positioned and doing well for your customers, and what is it your customers value most? And I think the last part is make sure you're having some fun over the next while. I think business, government, the experts have tried to convince us in the last year that it's really bad out there. And while it's been a challenge, I'm not sure it's been as bad as we thought it was. And so when you're coming into it, have some fun to see where you're at. Make sure you're well positioned for next year. Make it happen and go make next year a great year. Go have some fun and have great selling.